Rob Kramer is a pop artist from Portland, Oregon, who also likes to dabble in tiki. On this episode of Tiki with Ray, we talk about his influences, which include the Brady Bunch, the Three Stooges, and Batgirl. Rob is you were like what kind of an artist would you say you are?
I am a pop artist.
Pop artist, and actually this is one of Rob's pieces right
Yes.
there. Betty and Barney.
Yes.
And Betty was I always found her more attractive than.
Oh, she was,
Or are you more about Wilma?
There was something about Betty. The brunette living next door.
Yeah, it was kind of like with Gilligan's Island. Marianne was always the true beautiful one.
Oh, those shorts, those little denim shorts, and the coconut cream pies.
That's the only reason why I watched that show. because it wasn't because of the deep plot points.
Oh no, not
you
at
watch.
all.
I mean, how many episodes of Gilligan's Island did you watch until you realize they ain't getting off?
No. There was no.
Every show is like they get this close to getting off, and then something happens.
There was no sense of anticipation. Are they finally gonna make it this time? No, they're not.
Maybe that's Mira's life or something like that.
Well, and we also had that.
All your hopes and dreams, no matter how far you're going to get to them, close you're going to get to them, they're going to fail in the end.
Exactly. There was that made-for-TV movie Rescue Escape. Yeah, they eventually got off the island,
and then they came back and they made like a resort there or something. Like
that.
They
they got back. They realized how horrible society was, and they went back to the island because that was so much better. The one transistor radio and the little bamboo taxi, and and the endless coconut cream pies was so much better than going back to civilization.
So,
exactly.
But anyway, you would say you are a pop artist.
Definitely a pop artist.
What does that mean? Pop artist in the same vein as like Andy Warhol?
Yes. Oh, definitely. Insofar as I am definitely influenced by, the vast. All my influences come from outside. Look at any artist. No artist is an island. I'm sorry, there are no original ideas out there. You are influenced by everything around you. I'm sorry, it's just how it works. So, I am totally a product of the fact that I was raised on Saturday morning cartoons.
Me too.
Comic books,
yep.
Wacky Packs.
Who was your first crush? TV star, movie star crush? My first is actually Pamela Sue Martin from Nancy Drew.
Oh, jeez.
Because I remember as a kid, she was the first girl that you would see on television where I'd be like watching, I'd be like, why can't I stop looking at her? And there's something about, and I realized it was her.
And for me,
I'm not saying she's like the most beautiful woman in the world. She's beautiful. But the first woman that I seen as a kid, where I'm like,
exactly.
There's something about her. So who was yours?
I think it was Yvonne Craig.
Yvonne Craig, yeah.
Because there was, I don't know if you remember,
she's beautiful.
Oh my God, she was absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't she the green alien in Star Trek?
Yeah, she was the green alien in Star Trek. But she's running around in this purple leather tight thing, but for
some reason I really love Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
But I really, really love it when she's on.
Well, it was funny because you would watch. I believe she came in the second season. Yeah. So when you would get in syndication the episodes coming up in random order, that season where she joined, there was Batman throws the punch, Robin, and then she swings in. She swings in from the side. And my God, when I saw that,
you're like,
all right. I'm in. I want a snack, but I'm not.
Mom, hold the TV dinner until after this is done. You and I are both fans of comic books.
Definitely.
And I collected in the 80s. And I guess you're still collecting?
Oh, yeah.
And, I had my collection. And I collected up until about the mid 80s, and I kind of stopped. Mm-hmm. And then my comic book collection stayed at my parents' house forever.
Okay.
And then about 5-6 years ago, my mom's like, you need to get these comic books out of here. They've been sitting up here. You got to do something. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, So that's in Pennsylvania. I shipped all my comic books out to my house in Seattle. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll sell them.
Yeah.
And then I did. I didn't really have anything that was much of value. But point is like that was a while ago. And then a couple years ago, I got into like the idea that you can get comic books digitally. And so I was going online and finding, well, I guess these torrents of like a couple years ago, like Marvel essentially created these DVDs that you can buy where it's like, here is all the Iron Man comic books up to like the 90s.
Yeah.
Here is all the Captain Americas up to like, so, and I got all those.
Oh, okay.
So I have all these comic books digitally.
Ah.
Really? And it's great. I literally have every comic book I would want digitally. And I have an iPad and I have an app that you can read the comic book on your iPad. So you're on this device that's about this big. But as I'm doing it, it was really your just desserts because it's like, there's just something about the comic book, holding it, and you realize that like you are touching and holding an artifact, a survivor.
Oh yeah.
Especially what people don't understand about comic book collecting or something like say action figures, and the action figures like Star Wars action figures still in the wrapper, is that when I was a 7-year-old boy, I collected my Star Wars action figures and immediately ripped those things out and threw away that. So if you actually find an action figure that's still in the wrapper, well, wow, that's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Think about a comic book. The reason why comic books from the early 70s and back is so rare is that most of the time some kid would have bought the comic book, read it, folded in his back pocket, and who knows what would have happened to it.
Exactly.
And the reason why comic books now aren't really having their value is because, well, everyone's hip to that fact. So immediately they'll go and they'll buy like 2 episodes, bag and board them,
of course.
put them on this. So even to this point, there's still comic books from the 90s that people have that are like in perfect condition.
Oh yeah.
But it's no big deal.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Exactly.
So there's something to be said about the tactileness of it. There's something to be said about the, like, say, mid-century furniture, like antique furniture.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that it's, like, still around is amazing.
Oh, I almost feel like I've been entrusted with something.
Yeah.
And it's like my job to make sure that this continues to exist.
Yeah.
I mean, those animation cells up there. That Tom and Jerry, those are original cells from 1964. And that is the only exact piece of that image.
Yeah.
And I have it, and I feel like it's my job to protect it.
Yeah, it isn't like you're going to throw that away.
No, I mean, it's going to at some point get passed on to somebody, but it's like I've been charged with making sure this survives for the next 30, 40 years and then gets passed on to somebody else.
As a child in the 70s, I grew up on a steady diet of like Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, I remember Scooby-Doo, Brady Bunch, all these, and you realize this would have been like the mid-70s, to late 70s, right? And then you realize like these cartoons that I'm watching, these shows are like decades old.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like what year did you say your cell was from? Tom and Jerry cell was from?
Those are both from 64.
64.
Yeah.
So that's like more than over a decade before like I was watching the show.
Exactly.
They hold up. They're beautiful.
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah.
Funny as hell.
No, there's definitely is if you can maintain a timelessness to something.
Yeah.
That's what lasts.
And I'll tell you what, man. I used to watch like the Flintstones, all these things.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I watch these shows over and over and over again, and there's like sayings and things in those shows that they're just in me now.
Oh, totally.
Don't you believe it?
Yeah. Exactly.
There's times where I'll say that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or there's the one Bugs Bunny where it was like I guess a bottle of ether broke.
Oh, yeah.
And this mad scientist is chasing after Bugs Bunny. He's like, come back here.
Oh, yeah.
You little rat.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, totally remember that one.
These things are in me. They're just in the subconscious. Was your love of all this pop culture, is that what created the spark for you to become an artist? Or how did you become an artist?
It was just something I always did. It was never...
Oh, okay.
It was just, I someone put a pencil in my hand at some point early, and I just drew. There was never, and I always knew that was what I was going to do. There was never a question going through grade school and middle school. Oh, well, what Rob's going to do? Like, where is he going to go to school? He's clearly going to go to art school, and he's going to be a cartoonist.
He's gonna work at a sign shop.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a little sign shop.
A little sign shop.
He's gonna pay a lot of attention to detail.
Exactly. Yeah.
How did the tiki aspect come into your life? Did it come in through the art, or did it come in through the lifestyle, or bars, or how?
Well, it was interesting because I grew up on the East Coast.
Where at in New
Jersey.
In New Jersey. Where at in New Jersey?
Central part of New Jersey. I grew up in a section of Woodbridge Township called Colonia.
Did you have to pay to go on a toll road to get to it?
Oh, you had to pay on a toll road to go everywhere. Come on, you know Jersey.
New Jersey.
You're not.
New Jersey, the toll booth stain.
Yeah, exactly. What exit? Come on, you weren't from that far away.
Rob. I'd love to come over and visit you. It's going to cost me $1.25.
Oh, yeah. I think the very first thing, if I have to think back, and this is kind of going back to what we were talking about a little earlier, was, as silly as it sounds, the Hawaii trip episodes from the Brady Bunch. Yeah. They went to Hawaii. Oh, yeah. We got to see Marsh in a bathing suit. Another one we left off the list earlier. But I was like, oh, they're in Hawaii, and Hawaii's this cool thing. And oh, look, there's this tiki idol, and there's Vincent Price,
you know. Oh my God, yeah.
And then what happened a couple years later was
dude, that tiki, that the one gave him bad luck.
Yeah.
Dude, how do you not know that plot line?
Exactly.
Everybody knows.
Oh, exactly. So I think that was my first initial introduction to it. Mm-hmm. Then a couple years later, my mother's parents, my grandparents' 35th anniversary came up. And they were going to go to Hawaii. Don't remember which island they went to. So in their little suburban New Jersey backyard, we threw them a little luau.
No way.
I mean, yeah, it was, again, suburban New Jersey luau. But remember the one thing, though, is we did have the full pig. My uncle Johnny came out, got that thing started like 4 o'clock in the morning. So it was done right. And that was sort of like, oh, this is Hawaii. My grandparents are going there. And I'll look at these kind of cool little things that we're putting together. You know, the tiki torch with the net and the pool with the floating can. Again, you know, dollar store maybe considered tiki type stuff. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
With tiki, when did you start doing, like, including that into your artwork?
It wasn't until I had actually lived out here on the West Coast.
When did you move
in San Francisco for just 1 year, from 88 to 89.
Okay.
Again,
you moved to San Francisco.
Yeah, from New Jersey to San Francisco. I have an aunt and a cousin down, 2 cousins who were down there at that point. Then went back to Jersey after a year, and I got home in the summer, and my sister was actually at this spot on the Jersey Shore called Long Beach Island doing summer stock theater.
Okay.
And when I got home, she said, oh, you got to come down. There's this really cool shop you got to check out. It's over by Bay Village. So I went down there, and she pointed out to me it was Rick's Aloha Classics.
Okay.
So went in there, and Rick had the Aloha shirts. And he had mugs, and he had CDs of the music, and he had a little bit of everything. And I'm like, it was just like one of those moments like, wow, this is really cool. And I'm like, holy crap. It was something that I kind of was aware of at a low level, but I didn't like, wow, holy cow. Yeah. There's a whole store full of really cool stuff, and I want one of these. And I think literally the first day I went in, I grabbed a mug and grabbed a shirt, and I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And then I think as I started digging deeper into it, that's when I started getting incorporated into the artwork. It was like, wow, there's this whole world that I think is really cool, and I want to put my little spin on it. I want to do my interpretation of it. There are a lot of artists out there who have their mission to change people's thought processes on something, their opinions on something, the way they feel on a topic. I don't feel that my art is worthy of that level of influence. I've always been just concerned with people looking at it and having fun.
Yeah.
And enjoying it. And if that is my first and foremost concern. Did you like looking at it? Did you have fun? Did you want to buy it because it made you feel good?
Remind you of your childhood. Or...
And I think that's part of the connection. But it's like some people may just write it all off as eye candy, but this is what I enjoy doing, and it makes a certain group of people happy, and they enjoy my work, and that's pretty much the extent of the thought that I put into it. I work in a small sign shop. There's 6 of us on staff there. It's myself and another designer.
Just small signs. Small
in staffs. Yeah, just postage signs.
Make really small signs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's one of our.
There's one of our signs. Yeah. Actually, those were printed at work.
Wait, it's a small sign.
It's a really small.
Hey gang, this is Tiki with Ray, and I just want to say thank you very much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more episodes, click on the subscribe button. And if you liked the video, give it a like. That would mean a lot to me. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave a comment in the comment section below.